Hey everyone, Kyle once again, aka Jurassic Godzilla fan. Welcome back to another review. Um, one thing I would say that I was doing this review already like last night, and also my internet cut off on me, so no, I lost that video, so here I am, I'm redoing it, so I'm trying this again. Um, what this video I'm doing is because this one it got me thinking is last year. Last year in 2013, we had a bunch of major box office bombs. Last year, like the Lone Ranger and Jack the Giant Slayer, R.I.P.D. and now the newest biggest flop as recently 47 Ronin. We just had a lot of big major box office flops this year, and also other ones like Ender's Game and Bullet to the Head, The Fifth Estate, Paranoia. And this is there was just a lot of big box office bombs as of last year, you know. Some with ginormous budget films that bombed the flop badly, and some including with a modest budget but still flopped, you know. So this I got me thinking. So, cause plus I never thought that a seen a year. Plus I never seen a year where so many films bombed in one year, like in the year 2013, you know. And a lot of times I was right, you know. Well, stuff I predicted the Lone Ranger would bomb, and it did, and I was right. Um, there was other movies I predict that would have been a big box office bomb, and I was right, you know. Like R.I.P.D. So for some reason that film cost about 130 million, which I could not see on the screen. That film bombed badly and deserves it, you know. So yeah, and there was other modest films that bombed badly, like the Fifth Estate or Dead Man Down or Paranoia, you know. I mean, those films were box office disasters, but they just bombed badly. So, or Bullet to the Head, which that for some reason cost $55 million, which I don't see why. That film was a bomb. So I just wanted to do that. I'm here to this video to talk about this video is since we're in the year 2014, and I'm gonna be predicting for the next future box office bombs here and the future 2014 box office bombs. So that's what this video is about. So I'm gonna say some films that haven't came out yet, and I'm gonna say if I think they're gonna bomb at the box office this year of 2014. So here's the first one I'm gonna say. Well, this one is gonna come out. This one is gonna come out tomorrow, January 10th, and that is The Legend of Hercules. The Legend of Hercules. But from what I've seen from the trailer, for some reason that film costs well, I wouldn't say so for some reason, but it looks pretty modest, you know, how the film looks. So say it looks like how the budget spent on that. That film cost about 70 million. So plus, the reason why it cost 70 million, but why I think the film's gonna be a bomb because it's being released in January. Because there was a lot of films that has been released in January and they flopped to the box office. Take that film for example, Deep Rising. Because that film came out in January, had a budget of 45 million, you know, made a diddly squad of 11 million, and bombed badly at the box office. And well, first of all, that film was originally going to come out in the fall of '97, but it got delayed until January of '98. So it's just a shame when that film was a flop, though. And I love Deep Rising. I think that film is a very underrated creature feature sea monster film. So And as of last year, like last year, 2013, The Last Stand with the newest one with Arnold, the newest one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, his big return, the lead. I was so looking forward to that for a while in 2012, and when it came out, I was so excited and I really loved it. Um, and this is gonna be, I'm thinking to myself, this is gonna be a big hit because this is Arnold's big return, for the first time in over 10 years, And when I saw what I did at the box office, I was absolutely shocked at how that film did poorly on the opening weekend. It only made 12 million in the U.S. Total worldwide made like about, I would say 40 or less, or maybe 37 million. I was absolutely disappointed with that film did not do as well as I hoped. So that's another reason, and it didn't do well in the U.S. sadly. And I absolutely liked it. And I absolutely I really do enjoy The Last Stand. And I mentioned it's on my top 19 the films of 2013. Just looking back on that, and I'll explain why. I think I made that film like number 5 on my list. That's not a film that didn't do well in January. So there's a lot of films with the modest budgets that bombed the box office. So that's why I'm guessing about this one, The Legend of Hercules, will bomb, because I think it's like a semi-big budget, and with 70 million, I think that's gonna bomb. And plus, this is the first film that's the first film that's about Hercules. In the summer, another film about Hercules called Hercules, the Thrardon Wars, the one with Dwayne Johnson. That film costs over 100 million, but that's coming out in the summer though, so. So, but that's another film. I'll put both of these two, The Legend of Hercules and Hercules, the Thrardon Wars, though, because that one costs over 100 million as well, the second one. But I'll get to that though. But this one, especially the first one, Legend of Hercules, when it's directed by Renny Harlin, who directed a lot of films like Deep Blue Sea and Cliffhanger, and. Yeah, well, I like Deep Blue Sea, and I absolutely enjoy Cliffhanger. That's a great film with Sylvester Stallone. But this one, we'll see about it though. So that's the first film I mentioned. That's gonna be the first big box office bomb of this year, The Legend of Hercules. The next one, this one also comes out in January. This is a film I was looking forward to seeing in 2013. It was supposed to come out in September 2013, but then they got pushed back to January 24th, 2014. And that is I, Frankenstein. Now this one, it may be a bomb, but I'm not exactly sure. You never know. But I'm just gonna say it because I always for me there's always a problem when a film gets its release date pushed back. There's always gonna be a problem with that. But I, Frankenstein was a film I was looking forward to seeing, starring Aaron Eckhart. Aaron Eckhart, who plays the Frankenstein monster. And it's also from watch the trailer. It looks pretty good. And it's from the producer of Underworld. And when I saw from the producer of Underworld, the film does look like it takes place in the Underworld universe. I like the first Underworld. I really do enjoy the first Underworld film. The second, third, fourth. Well, obviously, I still haven't seen this, but I really did enjoy the first film. And same from the producer of Underworld, Frankenstein. It does look like it takes place in the Underworld universe. It does kind of look like it. And Aaron Eckhart, he looks pretty good, as the Frankenstein monster, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But saying this film will also it looks like it'll be a box office bomb though, but you never know, because it could surprise me, So I, Frankenstein, maybe or maybe not. So just point that out. Now the next film, I pray to God this film would be a box office bomb. I would really hope it would be bombed. Coming out in February. And that is the remake of RoboCop. Oh my God. I, I, whenever since I first heard the remake RoboCop, the thing was back in 2011. I was like, oh my god, no, no, not RoboCop. And ever since that, I was not looking forward to seeing it at all. I was not looking forward to seeing it. And when I've heard from both the scripts and seen from the pictures and I've seen the two from the two trailers of it, I just want to pull my hair out. Just want to keep banging my leg, hitting my leg until it bruises. In this film, I was pissed with how the script was. I was pissed how the first picture was of RoboCop in the dumb black suit, and I got even more pissed when I saw the two trailers to him. And this film, I'm very hoping this film will bomb badly, because this film will cost over 120 million, and it doesn't deserve any of that. Okay, the original RoboCop, which I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of the original RoboCop. I love RoboCop. It's one of my all-time favorite action films. Peter Weller was outstanding as RoboCop in the first two films. Number 3 sucked. It sucked and sucked and sucked. Number 3. And what I also said that the remake of RoboCop is going to be PG-13, and so I know there's going to be no blood whatsoever. Unlike the first two films, especially the first film, it had such a lot of good amounts of gore in it, especially with the Ed 19, especially when it malfunctioned and killed that OCP worker, shooting and bloody bits, all blood spurting everywhere. That was a really great gore, especially when Alex Murphy, when he first died, he got his hand blown off, and he got shot in the head, There was a lot of good amounts of gore in the original RoboCop. Number 2 had a little bit less of the blood, but there was still some though, for worth it being R-rated. And number 3, which sucked, that was PG-13. It looked too kidified. And especially for this, when I seen the trailer to the two trailers for this remake, I got offended. I was so offended because this is absolutely an insult to the original RoboCop, where from what I read from the script, they kind of mentioned like they had the original looking suit though, but then you have people making fun of it. And I don't care about the cast. Yes, I don't care. I don't care about Gary Oldman. I don't care about Michael Keaton. I don't care about Samuel L. Jackson. Just because you have good actors in it doesn't mean it's gonna be good. Especially if it's a remake of an original, classic, solid action film from the '80s. So I won't give a crap who's in it. Jackie Earle Haley, who was in another remake, which he played in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, where that also sucked ass. And then even Miguel Ferrer, who was the guy who originally built RoboCop in the original film, he's even making an appearance in this. Why? Probably for a small paycheck. I don't know. This film obviously pissed me off. This like all year long. I just can't believe how what it is. They can't come up with new original ideas. They just want to start remaking every single film ever made. Especially on great classic films like RoboCop. So yeah, this is another film I'm just hoping if you got it would be a big box office bomb. I hope, especially for true fans of the original RoboCop, hopefully they'll agree with me. If they're true fans of the original RoboCop. Because like I said, seeing this, it makes me get offended since I'm a huge fan of the original one, who was so badass. This one does not look badass whatsoever. Especially how he died, and especially they change things from the original film, like retaining his memories. In the original film he forgot his memories, and this film, he still doesn't remember who he is. So yeah, best snuff film. I just hope it will be a big box office bomb. I just hope. The next one is the next one I would say the next one is Pompeii. Pompeii is another film that comes on February. It's directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. And Paul W.S. Anderson has been directing as of recently. I've not been interested because I'm not a fan of the Resident Evil films. Even though he didn't direct the 2 and 3 though, he directed 1, 4, 5, and supposedly the new upcoming number 6. I've never been a fan of the Resident Evil films. They never followed the games whatsoever, and it never looked interesting to me. And when the Three Musketeers he redirected, that was not that interesting at all. Even though I liked Death Race, that was probably the only decent thing he did in the year 2000s. But in the 90s, he started as a great director. He was a great director in the 90s. He directed the classic martial art action film Mortal Kombat. I love Mortal Kombat. I love Event Horizon. I love Soldier. Event Horizon and Soldier. Those are flops of the box office, which is sad. Some of those two films were much better than some of the films he's been directing. Better than the Resident Evil films or Three Musketeers, or even looks better than Pompeii. And Pompeii, that cost over $100 million. Especially for I know it's about maybe it's a fantasized history of in the famous Italian city in Pompeii, the volcano and stuff like that. Judging for it, it looks like more like a. From what I see, it looks like the volcano erupts more like towards the end of the film. From what I've seen in the trailer, the teaser trailer or whatever. There are much better volcano disaster films like that film right there, Volcano. That's a much better volcano disaster film, which was a fun, entertaining film. Or even Dante's Peak, which I think Volcano is still better than Dante's Peak, but Dante's Peak, I think it's still better. Still looks better than Pompeii. Even though there was a couple of decent actors in it, like Kiefer Sutherland, Carrie-Anne Moss, and even also including Emily Browning from Sucker Punch and Series of Unfortunate Events, But that was another one does not look that interesting, But it cost over $100 million. That's another film I'm thinking it would be another box office bomb. So yeah. Next one I would say is I'm throwing this one. I'm not sure though, but I'm saying 300 Rise of an Empire. I thought was a sequel, but turns out it's a prequel. And I'm not a fan of prequels, especially for live action prequels. Zack Snyder, he's not directing it, he's producing it. This one, I don't know if there's a trail to it. If I don't remember if there is. I have not seen it, and I don't think I would. Especially if the first one was a big hit, but I'm not exactly sure on this one. Looks like it's a prequel though, but I don't know. That's why I'm just throwing this out because it looks I don't think it looks like it won't do as good as well as the first film though. But I'm just saying though. So that's why I'll probably say 300 Rise of an Empire, the prequel. I don't think it won't do good. So I'm just saying about that one. Next one, this one I think will be another. I think it would be a bomb, and it's a film called comes out in March. It's called Divergent. It's directed by Neil Burger, who directed Limitless, which I enjoy. I enjoy Limitless with Bradley Cooper and Robert De Niro. I enjoy that film. But this one won't do as good though, because like last year there was like 3 in that similar type of realm universes. There were 3 films last year that didn't do well at all. There was The Host, there was Beautiful Creatures, and there was The Mortal Instruments, City of Bones. All 3 of those films did not do well. Those 3 kind of fantasy films. Those 3 films didn't do well at the box office at all. And this one kind of looks like the same kind of fantasy film as those 3 films. And I'm thinking this film will be a box office bomb as well. Even though I guess also including decent actors like Kate Winslet and Ashley Judd and Tony Goldwyn. I still think this film would also be a box office bomb because it looks similar to those 3 fantasy films in 2013, which didn't do well at all. So that's Divergent, and now that's what I'm thinking that will be another box office bomb, 2014. Next one, I'm looking at two films that comes out in May. One I've very well been predicting predicting for quite a while, ever since I first seen it. I've seen the teaser trailer, and this budget, so it comes out during the summer. It costs over 200 million, and that is Maleficent. Maleficent, the live action adaptation of Sleeping Beauty, but this time was told from the villain's point of view, the title character herself, Maleficent, which is going to be played by Angelina Jolie. It may look interesting because I saw the teaser. I was like, oh, okay, I'm game. I'll give it a whirl, you know. But it comes out on May 30th, and it may be a bomb. It may be a box office bomb because it costs over 200 million. But last 2013, another Disney film that surprised me. I thought it was gonna be a big box office bomb. And that was Oz the Great and Powerful. I haven't seen Oz the Great and Powerful, but last year I predicted that film was gonna be a box office bomb, another big one, because it cost over 215 million. But surprisingly, it didn't. It made close to 500 million worldwide. And made over 220 something or 30 something in the U.S. You know, so it was not a flop at all. And that surprised me, you know. So maybe I'll be surprised with Maleficent, you know, because it's another Disney live action Disney film that costs over 200 million, you know, and maybe I'll be surprised, but I'm still predicting this film will also be a flop too. But it could surprise me, but I'm just saying though. So Maleficent, maybe it'll be another big box office bombs. We shall see. Another one is this one, which I think it will be a flop. That is A Million Ways to Die in the West. It's a comedy western that's directed by Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane, who is the creator of Family Guy and director of Ted. The only thing I would say that Seth MacFarlane has done when he voiced what's his name in Hellboy 2: The Golden Army, you know, who was that German ectoplasmic guy, you know, who was in that suit, and, you know, he's like ectoplasmic, that can infiltrate metal stuff, you know. So, you know, that was one of the decent thing he did, Seth MacFarlane. But but the thing is though, I hate Family Guy. Yes, I hate Family Guy. Okay, I hate Family Guy. I think that show sucks. I don't think it's not funny whatsoever. I know everybody loves Family Guy. I know. But not me, okay? I can't stand the show. It rattles my nerves too much. Especially my brother. He loves that show and he watches it. And, you know, that's fine. That's his prerogative, you know. But not me. I can't stand the show. It annoys me to death. But I also hated Ted. Especially I never saw. I didn't see the movie. I saw just from the trailer. But a stupid idea about a teddy bear, a talking, ugly-looking teddy bear, and it's you know it's talking to trash talking, and it's a pervert, you know, especially with Mark Wahlberg, you know, and that film was a big hit, which I have no idea why. I have no idea, because probably everybody loves seeing a teddy bear talking, trash talking, and doing inappropriate things, you know. I just don't understand why films like they are such a hit. It's hit because it's from the creator of Family Guy. That's the amazing reason why. It's from the creator of Family Guy, and he directed it. That's why the film's a big hit. Everybody loves Family Guy, and that's the reason why. Stupid. And then originally he's directing this is a comedy. It's a comedy film, but it's also a western film. And I would bet this film is gonna flop because westerns these days don't do well at the box office at all. Look at The Lone Ranger. That film cost over 250 million. That bombed badly in the U.S. Jonah Hex. That film was another big box office flop. Cowboys and Aliens, which is the only western film that I really did enjoy. I love Cowboys and Aliens, but that film doesn't do well at the box office. And yeah, so western films of these days, or even The Last Stand, they kind of make it look like a western film, but they didn't do well either. But this film I would say is also it's gonna bomb in the U.S. because it's gonna bomb, you know, because it's a western film, and I would say it's not gonna do it well. But I'll also probably jinx myself because it's from the creators of Family Guy, and so it automatically will do well, like it did, like Ted did, you know. Ted, jeez. And that film was that Ted was a big hit just because it was from the creator Family Guy. If it's from the creator Family Guy, automatically it's a big hit. So maybe that's probably step. Maybe that'll probably happen with this film. A Million Ways to Die in the U.S. A million Ways to Die in the West. It'll probably be a big hit because it's from the creator Family Guy. Yes, even though Liam Neeson, Charlize Theron, Neil Patrick Harris, and Amanda Seyfried, are gonna be in it. Maybe I'll probably see it only because of Neil Patrick Harris. Maybe even Liam Neeson, but that's it though. If I don't like it, I hate. If I don't like it, I like it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Such as Neil Patrick Harris, people are not a fan of the Smurfs films, and I enjoyed Neil Patrick Harris in that film, but I'll probably see that probably for him in this film when it comes out. But I'm still betting this one's gonna flop because it's a Western film and they don't do well. And all recent Western films they haven't been doing badly, But who knows? Maybe it'll be a big hit just because it's from the creator Family Guy. That's what I'm saying, plain and simple. The next film comes out in June, and it's also funny that it comes out on the day of my birthday, June 6th, And it's a film but it's also a film I'm really looking forward to seeing. It looks very interesting to me, and it's called Edge of Tomorrow. It's a science fiction film starring Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt and Bill Paxton, I will think this film is gonna flop though, but it's just it looks like another big budget film, but I could be wrong. But it's a film I'm looking forward to seeing. It's one of the few films I'm looking forward to seeing this year. One of the few films I'm looking forward to seeing this year. And this film, Edge of Tomorrow, looks really interesting to me. About a guy who's a soldier who's never been on the field in combat. And when he dies, he's transferred back to the certain part of the past, and he has to redo the thing over and over again. It's kind of like source code in a way. With that film with Jake Gyllenhaal, well, he has to get this bomb at a train. When time runs out, it loops back to the same place he was, and it tries to do it over again. It looks the same thing with Edge of Tomorrow. So it looks really interesting, but maybe I'll say it will flop, maybe not though. But I'm really looking forward to seeing that film, Edge of Tomorrow. Another one is coming. Two films that comes out in July. The first one is, like I said, about the second Hercules film, Hercules: The Trojan War, starring Dwayne Johnson, directed by Brett Ratner. Cost over $100 million though. Maybe it'll be a big hit, or maybe not. Like look at happened with R.I.P.D. that came out in July, and that film did badly, So that's all I mentioned about the second Hercules film. This film starring Dwayne Johnson, Hercules: The Trojan Wars. So I'm thinking that'll be a big bomb too, but we'll see. The next one is, I would say, is a science fiction film called Jupiter Ascending. From the guys who did the Matrix films and Speed Racer, Speed Racer that was a big box office bomb, and that was a big, except for the Matrix films. Speed Racer was a big box office bomb, surprisingly, And these guys, they're directing this film starring Channing Tatum, It doesn't. I haven't seen the trailer though, but. Well, I think was in the trailer. I think I saw the trailer for it. Maybe I could be wrong though, but that's another film I'm predicting that'll be a box office bomb. It doesn't, especially with the last film the Wachowskis, they did with Speed Racer, and that film was a bomb. So just gotta wait and see. So that's what I'm thinking on Jupiter Ascending. Just looking if there's any other films I think that'll bomb badly. Maybe this one that comes out in October. I think it's called Dracula Untold. This one made in May. I've seen the pictures though, but I'm thinking that film will be a bomb too, because stuff like that will. I don't know. I'm just throwing out names though, but maybe I'll predict Dracula Untold. That doesn't look like a film that would do well, you know. Interstellar, the newest film directed by the newest film, upcoming film to be directed by Christopher Nolan, director of the Dark Knight trilogy and Inception. I enjoy Inception, not a fan of the Dark Knight trilogy, except for Heath Ledger. Also starring Matthew McConaughey. Maybe it'll end up being another big bomb, maybe. But if it's directed by Chris Nolan, it'll be a hit because all his films have been big hits, you know, especially Dark Knight trilogy and Inception. You know, who knows? We shall see about that. And I think that's just about I think that's about it now. So yeah, that's some of the films I would say will be in the future and here in the year 2014 will be future box office bombs though. But so we shall see. The first film I think will be about for this year will be The Legend of Hercules, which is coming out like as of tomorrow, January 10th. You know, the reason I'm saying the date because you know from what people look on this video onward, it will no longer be January 10th. That's what I'm saying. You know. So we shall see about the next future films. You know. Because last year in 2013, there was a lot of films that bombed badly in 2013. So we shall have to wait and see for other films coming out in 2014. So right now, the first film I would say for the Legend of Hercules, I would say that'll be the first film that'll be a big bomb. So we'll have to wait and see. So that's my video. Future predictions on the next future box office bombs 2014. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next review. Later.